Hey guys, so earlier this morning, I put together a chicken chili recipe in the crock pot. I posted the recipe earlier, and when I came in from church, I went to the early service. When I came in from church, the house smelled amazing. So I'm so excited about that recipe. It has about an hour and a half left. I'm going to take that chicken out and shred that, put it back in there, and then I'm going to cube up an 8-ounce thing of cream cheese, and I'm going to put that in there and let that all melt. And so I decided to go ahead and try to make another new recipe. I'm living dangerously today. For the Mexican cornbread that my friend Adina gave me back in January of 2019. So I wrote the recipe down, and I thought this would go really well, I think, with the chicken chili. Now, Rick, he's probably going to stop and get some Fritos, but I thought since this is going to make such a big pan, what we don't eat I can save for later, or I can freeze it and then just grab a piece out when we need it. So far, I have just added in my little mixing bowl 1.5 cups of self-rising cornmeal with 3 tablespoons of sugar. And I'm just mixing that up really well. I'm going to put my recipe book over here so I can not have to look away. So it's 1.5 cups of self-rising cornmeal and 3 tablespoons of sugar, which is what I'm just stirring together now. Then I've already sprayed my 9x13. This happens to be a Pioneer Woman pan. So I've already sprayed that with Pam. And I have this mixed up pretty good. And then you're supposed to put 4 eggs. And what I did, I just emptied, I just cracked the 4 eggs in here. I'm just kind of stirring these up just a little bit. And I'm going to go ahead and pour those in there. The 4 eggs, slightly beaten. And then I'm going to add a cup of creamed corn. So I just got a can of creamed corn, and I'm just going to pour that in there. Mix all this together. And then the next thing we're going to do is put in, it calls for a cup of green pepper, but I do not have any. I don't know why. I thought I had some in the freezer, but I do not. So it's optional anyway. I'm not a big fan of green pepper, so I don't think I'm going to miss it much. You could probably put some jalapeno in here at this point, but it also calls for 1 cup of onion, which I forgot to get out of my refrigerator, but it is diced up already. So let me grab that. I had already diced this up yesterday morning. And whew, that's strong. So, diced up the onion. That's 1 cup. And get all that out there. So, again, it's an option for the green pepper. And then I did add a cup of chopped onion. And now I have to add 1 cup of buttermilk. So I have that right here. I'm going to shake that up first. Put it over here and put it over my sink. Okay. And 1 cup of buttermilk. I'm going to pour that in there. Ooh. I'm so excited about this new recipe. Y'all, I tried my hand at Brenda Gant's recipe for her Mexican cornbread. Had a great flavor, but I must have not done something right because I know hers is amazing. Everything she makes is amazing. I didn't have good luck with that, and I probably will try it again. But this one is, again, was given to me by a friend, Adina. Most of you all know Adina Bowman. She's on Facebook, and we've been friends a long time. And so she gave me this, and she said, and I wrote this down, she said, this is the old Wright's Cafeteria recipe, and she said it's the best. So I trust her on that for sure. So, okay, I've added 1 cup of buttermilk, and now I have to add 1/2 cup of oil, vegetable oil. I'm pouring that in there. And the next thing we're going to add is 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper. So that's your choice. 1/2 to 1 crushed red pepper. I'm going to use 1/2 and probably just a little bit more, since I didn't put a jalapeno in there because it is Mexican cornbread. So now I have to add, let me stir this together. And then it says to add a cup of shredded cheddar. Well, I don't have cheddar cheese, but what I do have is Mexican, so I'm going to add a cup of that. Y'all, I don't know if you like this cheese right here. It is wonderful. It's a little bit more expensive unless you can catch it on sale at Food City for $1.99 a pack, which I've only found that to be one time. Other than that, it's kind of expensive, but man, is it good. So let me get this all stirred up before I add the cheese. So I'm going to have this baking while the chili, it still has, I'm waiting to see, it has an hour and a half to bake. To finish. So I'm probably not going to put this right here in the oven right away because you do have to bake this for 50 minutes on 350. So I'm going to add 1 cup of the cheese. Let me measure that out a little bit. I might have to put a little bit more because I like me some cheese. And these are really big pieces of cheese, which I like that. But I really do like the Tillamook cheese. And so I'm going to make that a heaping cup because I like it cheesy and all that good stuff. So here's my 1 cup of cheese. And so you use whatever cheese you have in your refrigerator. That's something that Brenda Gant is teaching us. Use what you have. And that's what my mama always did. So there's a couple of recipes that I can make that I don't really have to have a recipe, just a couple. I'm pretty much a stickler on that because I want it to turn out the same way every time. And I just like a recipe. I like to go by there. Now, I might add a couple more little things, or I might omit a couple of things. We are not really big on the seasoning, the thyme. We don't like that. And so usually if a recipe calls for it, I will improvise and put something else or not put anything at all. But we just do not like that. Presley sees someone, I guess, or something. Anyway, this smells so good. And I'll let you kind of look in there and say, whoop, I spilled that. So anyway, this is the Mexican cornbread. And again, Adina said that it's the old Wright's Cafeteria recipe. The best per Adina. She's a pretty smart girl too. But anyway, let me read you the ingredients over one more time so you can jot those down in case you want to try this recipe. If you have a good Mexican cornbread recipe, please post it in the comments if you want to share your recipe. And we'll give yours a try. We're just going to share the love. So again, it's 1.5 cups of self-rising cornmeal, 3 tablespoons of sugar, which I just mixed those two together. Then I added 4 eggs that I had whisked together. And then I put 1 cup of cream corn, 1 cup of chopped onion. It calls for 1 cup of green pepper, which is an option, 1 cup of buttermilk, a 1/2 cup of oil, 1/2 to 1 teaspoon of crushed red pepper, and a cup of shredded cheddar cheese. So you spray your pan with Pam, you mix all the ingredients, and you put it in a 9x13, and then you sprinkle it with some melted butter, which I do not have yet, but everybody knows how to melt butter. So I'm just going to put, I'll go and do that. You bake on 350 for about 50 minutes. Let me know if you tried this. I can't wait to taste this with my soup today. And remember, if you have leftovers, you can give them away, give them to a neighbor, or you can simply freeze the cornbread. You can even actually make this, I think, in little muffin pans so that you can freeze them individually. But I just went ahead and did my 9x13 today. So I'm gonna go pour this in the pan and go melt me some butter to pour over it, and then I'm gonna bake it. And hope you enjoy it. Hope you have a great Sunday. I may be back a little bit later to do a chocolate chip pound cake. Not sure yet. We'll just see how it goes. So hope you have a great day. Bye.